Today, I want to show you something pretty cool. Typically, whenever you start a new project, you want some sort of logo, something to go with it, right? You want something to kind of visually identify this project. And up until pretty recently, you basically had to hire a designer or have some design shops yourself or find something free or just rip off something that you found on the internet. However, that is no longer the case. So I will show you MidJourney. It is essentially a text-to-image AI model. And what that means is you give it some text and it returns you an image. So for example, I went to Dribble and I searched something like cool vector illustrations. Here's a great example, right? Something that's just kind of cool. It's unique. I certainly could never make anything like this myself. After we drag it to our desktop, we'll go to MidJourney and we'll ask it to describe. Grab the image. And we'll put it in, we'll let it run. And what this is doing is the MidJourney bot is classifying this image. It's saying, hey, out of all of the images that I've ever generated and all the things that I've created, what words would I use to describe this? So it's essentially, it's running MidJourney in reverse. So you are putting in an image and you're getting text back. And so what you can see here is it's given me 4 different prompts to create this. So what I can do is I can, go along and submit 3 of these. I've got the low, not awesome, not professional version of MidJourney, so I can only run 3 jobs simultaneously. So I will run those 3 jobs. And once all of these are done, you can see you get back some rather phenomenal results. And this is without any tweaking. This is without making any adjustments to these prompts, which you absolutely can do. You can absolutely just copy this prompt right here and paste it down and continue to refine it. Or you can click this little remix button right here and it'll give you the prompt and then you can adjust things. But just for the sake of demoing, I think that this in the top right is pretty close to what I was looking for. So we'll upscale number 2. Typically the upscale jobs don't take very long. There we go. So now I'm going to save this image, put fruit, throw this in the desktop. And I know what you're thinking, but this is a ping and I need a vector logo. Say no more. There is a very cool site called Vectorizer.ai. It is currently free to use. I don't know how much longer it'll be that way. It says that it's in beta right now. But what you can do is you can go grab your ping image. It will upload it and process it. Doesn't take too long. It takes maybe less than 30 seconds. And then you download the SVG. There's some other images that you can play with here, but we'll download an SVG. I've just opened this in Affinity Designer 2 because I'm cheap and don't want to get Illustrator. But you could see how easy it would be to simply completely click the wrong thing. And there you have it, a vector logo. Again, there's a lot of other things that can be done here. I don't think this is replacing design jobs anytime soon, but the fact that somebody like myself with 0 design skill can go on Dribble, can find inspiration to create something that is now authentically yours is pretty amazing. And this is an SVG, which means I can export this. I can go scale it up as big as a billboard. I can go throw it on a website. I can put it in a README. I can do whatever I want with this. This is pretty mind-blowing that I've done this in 8 minutes. If you spent a couple months doing this for a few different projects, you would find a lot of streamlining in your processes. You'd get a lot of this stuff down to an art. And you could crank out different logos and designs for a ton of different things. And so I'll just show you, here's some of the other things that I've made with MidJourney. These are some of the old Gen 2 and Gen 3 models here. But you can see here, I've got this logo that's kind of like in the style of Firewatch. Here I had a mock-up of a website. And you can see the words and stuff are gibberish, but it gives you the most important part of an initial design, which is the feel. It gives you the emotion, it gives you the impact that you want your design to have, and it lets you prototype and iterate on that rapidly. Here, I actually generated this for a GitHub README for one of my projects. Absolutely phenomenal. I can't believe it was created with just this tiny little prompt right here. And then I've got some other stuff I've played with. I've played around with some photorealistic Star Wars compositions, kind of reimagining stormtroopers as these old school samurai layouts, which I think is just absolutely mind-blowing, the photorealism in some of these things. And then I've also been playing around with a new brand design that I'm doing, and you can see that the results are pretty phenomenal. This is one of those tools that is completely changing the way that people do things. It's creating a lot of productivity. And it's enabling people to do things that you could not do before in any kind of quick or expedient way.